Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Indies comic book review. We got a bunch of books this week, 11 digital, 2 physical, and this week we are reviewing books that were released on February 19, 2014. We are we're trying to gear our way forward to get these reviews out a little bit earlier. I mean, we're going to be reviewing tomorrow night the books from the 26th, and we're still on the books from the 19th. So hopefully we're going to try to get the indie books from the 26th out earlier than Saturday. Once again, it just all depends on scheduling.
If it only will permit and be less hectic for once, which
never really happens, right?
That's how life is sometimes.
So we're going to start with the 2 physical books. Mike's going to go first. Yes. This book actually we got with the books from the 26th, but this was actually released, I believe, on the 19th.
Yes, so. And this is from the Zenescope category of Grimm Fairy Tales.
Nice cover, by the way.
Really nice cover. Age of
and there's a reason why we get these covers, to prove that it's not the cover, it's the stuff inside that's important.
Right. Grimm Fairy Tales, Age of Darkness, issue 94. I found this book to be very interesting. I actually thought that I'd give it a try. Or actually, my brother actually thought I would give it a try. And it's really about Seela, who's looking for Amanda Powers,
who's gone missing.
Right, and she's
well, she didn't go missing. She went home.
She went home and
didn't
come back
she
to
wanted
school.
to leave. She didn't want to come back to school. So Seela goes off to find her because I forgot his name. Chan or Shin?
I think Shin was his name.
Well, Shang, I think it was.
Oh, Shang, yeah. I remember hearing Shang, yeah.
Shang wanted them to become close because Amanda is a highborn.
Yeah, I want to show some artwork, which is really excellently drawn. Zenescope provides the best artwork. And she goes...
Where do you see the other artists on them? Grimm Fairy Tales are like that.
Absolutely. So, one of the soldiers gets her kidnapped.
We don't know who the soldier is. She ends up getting... she goes to Amanda Powers' house. She's not there, but she comes face to face with the soldier who captures her.
Yeah. And then we get captured by this person right here under the
hooded
mask.
man.
The Hooded Man. We don't get a name, so we'll just call him the Hooded Man. And just talk, and if you want to find out what their dialogue is, you can talk. You can see the comic book of what they were talking about. She manages to escape, and she goes to the infirmary room. I'm guessing where she was, and found Amanda Powers. Was well, let's just say it didn't end so well.
But I believe they were cloning Amanda Powers, if I remember from the last issue.
Probably it might make it an irony. So. As they're looking for her, she meets up with this ninja guy who goes by the name of Gideon. It's basically,
Gideon.
Yeah, he's from Different Seasons Volume 3, which makes a reference to that.
That's
Gideon.
the Grimm Fairy Tales
Valentine's Day special.
Yeah,
available in Different Seasons Volume 3. Right. And she helps her escape along with Shang. He helps her escape along with Shang, who comes in the end.
Yeah, he's the one that sent him to watch over Seela because he had a feeling something was going to happen.
Because of all the rage, he wanted her not to let the rage overcome her, what she is and what she shouldn't do. There's a really big cliffhanger in the end, like not to be continued, like the end, that some woman has some very special in stone for Seela.
In stone, you mean something special in store?
In store. And I have to show this coming this month, actually. Robin Hood Legend.
That's Volume 3.
Patrick Shan.
There's some other interesting stuff in here like that I'm looking forward to. I think you're getting issue number 3 of Tales of Oz, The Scarecrow, actually. I just want to see what other advertisements there were. Hellsing, I think we're going to be getting... Yeah, we're going to be getting Hellsing in April. And we're going to be... I'm definitely getting Godstorm, Hercules Pain. You can show those 2 pages if you want. We'll be getting both of those series. I'm hoping to get Godstorm in trade paperback form for the first story arc.
Yeah. And
there's an Inferno one-shot. We're definitely going to probably get that.
Yeah.
And then we got issue 3 of Scarecrow.
So let me show you guys the covers of Inferno, as well as Tales from Oz.
Next week you'll be seeing issue 3 of that.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to lots of stuff.
Also, Neverland, I believe I grabbed that also. Just to mention, I believe we grabbed Neverland.
I forgot about that.
I think we did do Neverland last week.
Yeah, we did with the whole decapitation
Mm.
thing. What was that? No, that was in Wonderland.
That was the Clash of the Queens.
Right, so this is something... I'm looking forward to it. It's from Zenescope, so I'm looking at the Zenescope books for high hopes.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of physical copies of Zenescope books, more than digital.
Yeah. But this is really an interesting book. I would say...
and it's always, as always, you go beyond the cover and you see the inside story.
Right, because the inside story is what really makes it amazing.
Exactly. You got to look over the cheesecake cover and see what's on the inside. These books are spectacular. And you know what? I love what Patrick Shan said on our interview. He's actually pushing to get different covers other than like this. This isn't cover A. This is cover C, I believe. Cover A is a more, he's trying to get the covers to look more like what the stories are on the inside and leave the covers like this as a cover C. But it's the same price as a regular cover. So if you're a fan of Zenescope and you like these types of covers, you can still get them.
I like the cover. But it's really the story I like as well. More along the lines of that. So definitely must pick up book. And here's your book.
This, I'm very disappointed. I'm going to be saying this. X-Files Conspiracy Theory. The only physical copy of the X-Files Conspiracy Theory I was going to get because it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm like, it's the Turtles. It's got to be good, right? Wrong.
As for my DW,
this was horrible. They think the Turtles are aliens.
Oh.
They think the Turtles are aliens, and they want a blood sample from them because they want to try to find a cure for what's going on in the with the disease and whatnot. The artwork's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The artwork's a little sketchy, but not that bad. It reminds me of the Andy Kun run. And of course, vampires.
Oh
yeah, the whole point in the beginning of the book, there's a picture taken of Leo and these two teenagers who are stalking around the Hamptons looking for proof of as it's put by the main characters here, where was it? No, maybe Donnie said it.
What happened?
Leo got on the front page because they were looking for a vampire cult. And then later on we find out that vampire cult is actually there. They're just hiding out trying to live a normal life. And then a character from the X-Files happens to be one of the lead vampires. And they just want to disappear. Somehow there's a huge fight between the vampires and the turtles because... what's his name? I can't remember his name. Ronnie. The vampire Ronnie, he tries to bite April, knocks out Casey, the turtles show up and save the day, and then there's a huge fight between the turtles and the vampires, and all of a sudden, they take Ronnie away, and the one of the police officers is like, listen, we don't want any trouble, let us just disappear. The turtles start to go after them, and then they're stopped by the guys asking for the blood sample. The vampires, they just forget about the vampires. They're gone. They disappear into who knows where. Who knows why all of a sudden the vampires are like, you know what, we don't want trouble. We're just going to leave. We just want to get out of here. You won't see us ever again. The turtles deny them any help, and then in the end somehow Leo shows up and actually offers to help by giving a blood sample. He does, and that's the end of the issue. And it's like...
I didn't like what I saw.
I didn't like what I saw. And I feel like there were a lot of loose ends. There were a lot of loose ends in this, and all of it, like, they were fighting vampires, then the vampires wanted to retreat, and then they were gone before, there was just, it was nonsensical just to get the blood samples of the turtles. This was kind of...
cartoony also, the artwork. Cause,
I didn't mind the artwork. The story just was like, okay, what?
No, I was just saying, like...
I'm saying that's what the story was. It was like, okay, what? It's like, why... I mean, they could have done so much more with this. Instead, all they asked for is a blood sample, and ironically, there are vampires around too.
Yeah, I was looking for the real, artwork, like they did in Ghostbusters, real artwork. But then I could understand the turtles are more of a comic-like.
I'm scared to see what they're going to do with Transformers now. That's next.
I can't believe it. I thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were going to be very good, but as aliens... Talk about going in a direction.
Yeah, they explained to them, we're not aliens, we're mutants, and that was like, oh, well, still...
I don't know why people want to categorize them as aliens. They're turtles. The ooze gave them powers. How is...
I don't know, I'm just, with this series, like I said, I had a up and down feeling. I was going to see what happened, and, it was good up until the Turtles, and now the Turtles kind of was like, eh. So I'm hoping that the Transformers brings it back up again.
We'll find out.
So let's start with Dynamite. We have 2 books from Dynamite. We have Ash and the Army of Darkness, issue number 4. He returned to the cemetery.
I know, just like in the movie.
He returned to the cemetery just like in the movie. And when he came to where the book was, you see the 8 books laid out there. And
he remembers.
He's trying to remember. He's like, yeah, I remember one stretched my face, one bit me, one tried to suck me in, and there was a beginning part, but you got to read this
remember
book.
the words.
And then he just says, you know what, this is the original book. And then they all go crazy for a bit, and then he grabs a regular book, and he's like, it's this one, let's go. He starts to walk off, and the woman's like, should you not have spoken the words? And he's like, words, schmerds. And she's like, you still don't remember them, do you? He doesn't remember them at all.
Platus, Veratas, Neptus. I remember it.
And again, he took the book, and the last time he took the book, the dead rose. And actually, he said, I remember these graves. Weren't these graves emptied? Because during Army of Darkness, they were. But as the woman says, after the fight, they came back to their graves and they went back underground where they belong. Now again, because he took the book without saying the words, guess what? They're back from the dead again.
But there's a twist.
But there's a twist. Instead of attacking him right away, they all come together and form this gigantic evil Ash thing. And it says to be concluded. So I'm guessing
He was
Ash...
in the movie too, right?
No. The evil Ash was in the movie.
Yeah.
Not,
Oh,
not
I
the
thought that
gigantic
was
one.
the one that returned. Oh.
It could be. You don't know. We
I
don't
think
know.
it is, but I don't know. I read this book. It was actually really interesting to see that part again from the movie.
It was interesting. I liked it. I would definitely say 3.5 out of 5 star book for sure. If you're a fan of Army of Darkness, this is a perfect continuation of the actual story. So definitely something you'd want to check up on. Now, Mike, you read... Oh, sorry. Wrong book.
Oh.
And I read this.
Yes.
Badass
Issue
number 2. Again,
Yes.
more flashbacks.
Yeah, it was like mostly talking about his stories, like back at the school where the principal was really concerned about him of being, like the way he should be. Like he's trying to tell him, to be like a normal student and everything. And then it goes to the fight where we leave off last time where he fought with who was that musical notes girl or cat? The
I
cat
can't remember.
thing. It was like a cat person throwing musical notes, and of course we all knew he dodged it. And they have a little bit of a fight scene with each other, which is really intense with amazing artwork that was shown as well. Yeah, like she throws like musical notes at him, and then he wins against her, and there's
Then
like,
the cops show up.
yeah, the cops show up, and then they go back in time again when he was in this biology science classroom.
He ends up getting
And he
thrown out
winds up
because
getting
he's
thrown out
late.
'cause he's late. And he meets up with this guy with a transformation robot car, like a mini one. And they became friends with each other.
His name is Terry Rafuri.
Rafuri. Yeah, and the guy with the mask
Rafferty.
is Jack.
Jack. Yeah.
and they
Jack Parks. And finally we get Dead End's full name.
Right, and Jack,
Jack
Parks, the FBI is looking for him.
Yeah, he has a huge rap sheet. He goes by Jack Parks, a.k.a. Dead End. And
Right.
he's wanted by the police. Because they can't capture him. And he actually, things look great. It looks like, he's going to get captured. The police are going to finally capture him. And then all hell breaks loose and he ends up
A
escaping.
rampage, yeah, he just vanished. Like out of nowhere. And now,
And he has a talking car, so that's what makes me think his friend is actually working with him.
right, because...
Or at least the robot is.
Yeah, because I kind of saw a little bit of a connection between those two of, like, either they were going to be working together because he was the only guy that actually
Was nice to
was
the other
nice
guy.
to him. I mean, at first their confrontation was a little nah, but then they actually got along with each other, saying that I think we'll get along better with each other because he wasn't accepted by other people. So the story showing how he could be accepted by one person that actually brings out.
Well, he's a
more of the
badass.
story.
As
Like,
he gets
that's
older,
the
he's a
title,
badass.
badass. Exactly.
So, all right, we're gonna go into now Image
Yes.
with Protectors Inc. And this book is all yours. This is Protectors Inc. issue number 4.
Yes. Right here, Protectors Inc. And basically, Protectors Inc. is wait, let me just get that out. It's a really interesting book. It's like a detective book, like what we found in the last issue, where he talks to this woman I can't remember.
Angel.
Yeah, Angel, basically. And he's just asking her questions about this whole thing of if she saw the person who was killed. And she says to him that, like, she saw her, or him, I don't know if it was a he or she, like, she saw the person, and there's just, like, a lot of big dialogue that she explains to him, and that he'll need to find more information with that. So if you want to know what the whole dialogue is, you can read the book and find out for yourself. So he's going to look for more investigation at a
He's gonna ask
baseball.
the rest of the Protectors.
Right. And he's going to go to a baseball game to actually find out more information there. Not just to be like a person that actually watches the game. And with that, there's actually more information that the doctor, I think, gives to him. Or something like that. And when you read further on into the book, there were, it was a she, basically. So that's who it was, a she that they were looking for the murderer. So there's these two people who are clashing against each other. Both are home teams and the visitors. Like, this, the one that's representing the Redbirds comes in, the Predator, and the guy from the Chicago Pugs who goes by name of, what was his name? It shows it, like, up further. What was the name? I can't even remember. Like, I know that he's the Predator, but I can't remember the other guy's name. See, names really just lose me. Stuff like that. Well, anyway, the Redbird and the Chicago mascots, I should say, they're both superheroes, and they both have a collision fight with each other. And I don't know if it was, like, fixed or something, because it looked like it was, kinda. And their home team mascot, the Chicago Pugs, actually won against the Redbirds Predator. And what I liked about, in the end, he's, like, saying at himself, you know, you better watch your back as a threat. So there might be something that maybe, I don't know if he might be involved in this murder case or something, but I'm really looking forward to reading more into it to actually see how all this is going to play out. And there was this other story arc, they showed Dream Police.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit okay.
It's a new story, I think
it's a new
coming.
story, like I read a little bit of it. It looks alright. Will I read it?
Mike
Probably.
Straczynski. We'll see.
Yeah, it's April 30th it comes out, so I'll maybe give it a try and see.
Really quick, let's jump into Valiant's Unity, issue number 4.
Here it is, Unity.
I feel like the whole issue, it's... Oh, who was the main guy, though? I forgot what his name was. Oh. Livewire turned on Toyo, who is the head of the Harbingers.
Thing, yeah.
And I think the Eternal Warrior knew also. Gillid knew. And so did Ninjak. And basically she takes the exo armor that somebody else wanted to steal, puts it back on, turns on Toyo, and actually goes to Arik in Camp Sigma.
Right, which is a prison.
Bows down, brings the uniform back into its spherical, you know,
in the circle
shape, and hands it and gives it back to
the original guy.
The original.
Who was part of the uniform, right?
Arik. Yeah.
Arik. I got.
And he becomes Exo again. And that's kind of where it leaves off. Next issue is about Dr. Silk.
So So that's going to be something interesting to read.
But once again, that's a big, huge briefing. I mean, there's a lot of dialogue in there. There's a lot of stuff in there, but it's kind of funny. It took 4 issues for Livewire to work with Toyo, take the armor away from Eric, and then just he ends up Exo. I'm glad he's back to being Exo. I was wondering how long it was going to take and praying it wouldn't be too long.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to read Exo now. Man of War, I think it comes out next week. Or it came out this week, but it's going to be the next review. So I'm looking forward to reading that.
And here...
Yes, and now we're in Dark Horse.
Yes.
And Mike, you can
Guy
start us off.
Man, issue number 2. I really thought it was issue number 3, but I because of the whole thing what happened, maybe I'm thinking of a different book. But anyway, it starts off where he's in his uniform, you know, like, when he wears his uniform, like, he feels like, you know, like he's indestructible and everything, and he goes to visit another president from a different country with speech and everything. I hate Lieutenant Sharp. He is turning out to be more of a jerk to him. I forgot what the guy's real name was. But I really hate Sharp. And wait till you see what he does when I get to it. So, without the suit, he's trying to save someone from a burning building. Without the suit, mind you. And he actually did a really great job at doing that. So he goes to Sharp, and the thing that he goes to Sharp about is because he wore his suit. Without asking his permission. He wore his suit to, you know, because he thinks that he could do a better job than he can. And then there turns out to be a little bit of a fight brawl between each other where he beats him up, and then the original person, I just can't remember his name. I think it was Robert or Edward or something.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who was mainly in the Skyman, the one that you saw from the cover, actually takes it because he doesn't want Lieutenant Sharp to like let him take over the job that he originally did.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that he gave it to Sharp, because if I were him, I would have knocked him out. And in the next issue, he meets up with, I believe, Captain Midnight. In the next one?
Yep.
And it's going to be either a friend or a foe. We'll find out in the next issue. But this one I actually found to be, you know, next of Army of Darkness, one of my other favorite books for this week, along with the physical copy of Grim Fairy Tales. But really interesting. I would highly recommend you read that book, because it's twists and turns.
Star Wars, Darth Vader and the Cry of Shadows, issue number 3. All about, again, I forget his name completely. I want to remember. Clone Trooper. He had a name. Hawk Malsum. He is working in a squadron that's led by Darth Vader, but he has a general, of course, that works under him, and he's up in the spaceship, Darth Vader, and he just tells the general to deal with the matters. The general sees a banner, which is making fun of him, and it's obviously a trap. They take the banner and they run away, and the general's like, chase them down and take them out. And Hawk sees that it's a trap, and he tries to stop the troopers, he tries to stop the general. The general won't hear it. He just wants to pursue them, kill them for the banner. It was making basically fun of him. And in the end, Hawk can't take it. He actually attacks the general and ends up killing him, which would make him a traitor, but Hawk was right. It was a trap, and by the time he had gotten to where the clone troopers were, they were all gone already. Within 15 minutes, they were destroyed. So he goes back. Vader calls and asks what's going on. Where's the general? What happened? And Hawk goes back up into space, and in front of the Emperor and Darth Vader and everybody, he actually calls the general a traitor and says that the general disobeyed Darth Vader's orders. And of course, the Emperor believes him. Of course, this is obviously happening between Star Wars 4 to 6, because Darth Vader is still alive. And Darth Vader actually gains a respect for Hawk and actually asks him to join to be his wing. So while Darth Vader is going to be attacking from the air, he wants Hawk to be at his side. And that's kind of where it leaves off, where Hawk has like this smile on his face.
So therefore, he takes the offer.
Obviously.
Yeah. Interesting.
Now we're going back in time with Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi, Force War, issue number 4. I can't pronounce this guy's name. I've been doing it for so many Dawn of the Jedi books. All right, I'm going to call him X. X basically is working with the oh god. Why do I had their names right before this review and then it left me again.
I know, don't you hate that? I had it too, and I'm like, it just escapes. Like,
He is the predators for. He's the predator for the Ricotta, the Ricotta,
okay.
and he was obviously brainwashed again, or led to believe that he is just a Force hound and that's that. And he, they try to snap. One of them tries to snap him out of it. I forget pronounce his name, but he tries to Daskin or something like that.
Yeah.
Tries to break him out of it. It doesn't work. He ends up following the Ricotta leader, I forget his name, down into the chasm where there's something that supposedly will control the Force and the universe, so to speak. And another Jedi chases after him, swearing revenge. And I wish they would give the names of the characters at the beginning of the book, but they unfortunately don't. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have any.
Although I do like the artwork, though.
The artwork is beautiful. We also see a little bit of the beginning of the dark side of the Force. But X is gone for the rest of the issue, and now all of them are converging together right where X jumped into the chasm with the Ricotta leader, and that's kind of where it leaves off. Everybody's going after X now. One is the woman who loves him, and she wants to try to save him, and the other two want to kill him because of his betrayal. So, it's leading into something huge, and it says next issue is Chaos. Looking forward to it. Dawn of the Jedi has been a spectacular book for Star Wars. I've loved it since the first volume. This is the third volume. I hope there's at least one more volume before Dark Horse loses the license for Star Wars and it ends up going back to Marvel, which is pretty sad because Star Wars has been doing spectacular at Dark Horse. I don't know why Disney wouldn't let Star Wars stay with Dark Horse. I mean, but this is their choice. It'll go to Marvel. Hopefully Marvel will do a lot better than what they did the last time they had the Star Wars contract. If not, then hopefully it'll go back to Dark Horse at some point. So, give us 1 second. We're going to continue with the last book from Dark Horse and the rest of IDW. So, hang on 1 sec. Alright, now, last book. We've been giving you guys Terminator Salvation, the end. I forget what the title was called.
The Burning Worlds, I think.
No, that was Burning Earth. That was what Ron wrote. I forgot what the... Wow, it was the whatever.
It was the recent
we have
one.
another miniseries coming out for Terminator, and that's the Terminator Enemy of My Enemy, issue number 1.
I read this one actually.
Not related to the other Terminator story, which is basically supposedly the end game.
And they said it's a world of like something about Kyle, like how they could solve the whole thing without Kyle. Like it was on the cover actually. Like go down. Like right there with no Kyle Reese to stop it.
Yeah, there's a new T800 in town, but no Kyle Reese is there.
That's what I meant. Yeah. So we get introduced to this woman who actually goes like undercover to find some other information stuff, and there's like a whole big dialogue that you'll definitely have to read.
But there is a new T800.
There is a new TA that actually goes to this guy. It's like in every Terminator movie where he attacks somebody and then has all clothes and everything else and goes out on the adventure. So she actually gets a call of to go visit this woman who actually is going under a different name that is illegal. So she wants to find out more information from her of why she's using a different name.
Mm-hmm.
So when she go, the artwork is really good, by the way. Before I continue, and her
real name is Elizabeth Wu.
Elizabeth Wu, exactly.
And the Terminator has her as a target. We don't know why yet.
Right. So when she goes to ask her questions, the Terminator, I'm calling the Terminator, comes in and actually attacks her, and they have a really amazing fight scene, and it ends really where there's a bullet that shoots on the head where a piece of the skin comes off, and then he just basically throws him out the window, and
she throws him out the window, yeah.
Yeah, and then he actually survived, and she wants to know how and why. Like,
and Elizabeth disappears. She runs out the door while all this fighting is going on. She disappears. The Terminator's still alive. He shaves all his head off and covers all his wounds. And Elizabeth's still out there somewhere, and I didn't understand the ending. You can go ahead.
Like, she calls up, I think, one of the researchers, I don't know if it's the DA or something, to find out about who she was up against. And he said, you know, I would say you're crazy and everything, but since it's actually believable that he believes her after years working together, he's going to look into it. So he looks into it and calls her back, actually. And I don't want to spoil the end, but I think she's going to want to hear some interesting stuff of who she was up against, and also more things that actually builds a really huge cliffhanger to the next issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to seeing how this story is actually going to play out as we read further on into the comic book. So it was an interesting read, I would say.
Terminator Salvation, the final battle.
Yeah, that's what it was. Salvation. So, definitely something to look forward to.
Do you want to do the honorable mention from IDW first?
Yes.
Alright, we're going to start with this book from IDW. This is a kid's book.
Yes.
It's called Michael Recycle and Bootleg Peg. This is a kid's book. This is not a comic book. It reads just like a children's book. You could explain what the story is, but I'm looking at the artwork and the pictures and everything, and this is something that definitely for little kids, like for adults to read to little kids, it's a really nice book, and it's obviously going to be about recycling, I'm guessing.
Well, not really that. Like, basically, it starts off where...
we start at the beginning.
Yeah, like where, I think the cat, the kitty's name, I think, was Michael, who wanted a fish. And what they don't know is that the fish was being all non-existent anymore because of a evil woman who actually took in all the fish and actually basically wanted to have no more fish in the world, basically to give them non-existent. So it's up to Michael and the gang to actually find the blue whale, I think, and to find out if there's a way to actually free the fish. And they go on this crazy journey where they're saving all the fish and everything, and they do so successfully, and now they could all have fish to eat and to enjoy.
As pets.
And yeah, so...
It's a nice little story. Mike actually mentioned it to me, so I wanted to mention it here.
Yeah.
Give an honorable mention. So if you have any kids at home, it's coming out of IDW. I'm sure it'll hit some comic shops. If not, I'm sure you could order it online.
Mm-hmm.
So we have two more books. One book Mike read, one book we both read. So let's do your book first. Ben 10, issue number 4. How was this?
This one is where Ben and the rest are going after the serpent, because it has the little S, you know, it puts more to the villain's name. And they're just trying to find out how they're going to attack him and how they're going to get rid of his territory, because he's causing all of this wreaking havoc everywhere and everything. And the mermaid, I forgot what her name was, actually helps out Ben, and they work together to stop the serpent from his wrongdoing. So she, like, they save these people who are gonna be in like a wave, like, because serpent's actually causing a real massive destruction by killing the civilians, and they, along with Ben 10's other friends, help him along to save the people. You know, the civilians and all that stuff. So there's just like a whole big dialogue, and they actually fight off against Serpent's, one of his men and everything. And there's a little bit of a goodbye from the mermaid because she has other plans that she has to do. And it's the end for now, so there's going to be more to look forward to. So I left some stuff out because I know some of you out there are Ben 10 fans, and I really don't want to give too much away because it's really them going after the Serpent's lair and how they're going to defeat him by finding out different plans and saving the civilians as well. So if you're interested in reading the book, I'd say go read it, I guess.
Okay, finally this week, Godzilla, Rulers of Earth, issue number 9. I love this issue because it had one of my favorite monsters in it, Mothra. I love Mothra. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy Mothra. So the team is getting attacked from the monsters from the last issue. Godzilla shows up and there's a huge fight that happens there. This book is amazing with the monster fights, I gotta say that.
Yeah, it actually refers to Emily, like it more focuses on Emily too as
Lucy.
well. Oh, Lucy, oh god.
Lucy ends up flying off the ship and ending up on one of the islands, and ironically, one of those islands has those little twins on it, and whenever you see those little twins, guess what you also get? Mothra and her 2 children, the larvas, still. I think in one of the movies, didn't they both become Mothras too?
I think in one of the movies, but I can't actually put my finger on it. But I remember, I know what you're talking about, but I remember.
Is hurt from a previous battle and she can't fly anymore. You just see her kind of laying there. And the twins give a long speech about the monsters, you know, how it all began.
The origins and everything else.
Yeah, it's a long...
It's a prehistoric story.
Yeah, it started from way back in prehistoric time. This book is like the explanation of the monsters. If you want this... after the awesome fight, it really just becomes a huge history lesson and classification of the monsters from space, the sea, electric, fire, all different types. And anyway, she ends up going back to the ship, and she has to warn them that the Earth is in grave danger.
And it's in the direction that she's pointing them towards.
From down there.
From down there, yeah.
Under the ocean.
Yeah. What I liked about this book is when they actually did the story about the monsters, like... When I was reading about that, I kind of found it more interesting I mean, yes, I did see the movie, but I liked how they broadened our stuff like
again though, especially with the Godzilla movie coming, I would definitely recommend this for anybody who's gearing up for the Godzilla movie. But the Godzilla comics have been pretty good. I've been enjoying a lot of them. When it focuses on Godzilla and not somebody focusing on killing Godzilla like the last Godzilla series that ended. I like when a story focuses on Godzilla as the main character and not like people trying to kill him, get rid of him, what have you, something like that.
Yeah, I would say Godzilla is between being a good person and a bad person. Like
he's like the anti kind
of
an
anti-person, anti-monster, because he's not human, he's anti-monster, so.
But I would definitely recommend it, and I'm eagerly awaiting the Godzilla movie coming very soon.
The trailer looks promising.
Oh yeah. Hopefully America didn't screw it up this time.
Well, let's hope not. Fingers crossed, exactly.
And with that, guys, that's it for this indie review.
Yep.
Again, feel free to leave comments below, likes, dislikes, agree with what we say, disagree with what we say, recommendations for some indie books that you'd like to see us review. Let us know in the comments below. Anybody who says My Little Pony, let Mike answer you.
No. I'm doing Daniel Bryan, no. I'm not reviewing that.
So no silly recommendations, but we will take legitimate, serious recommendations.
Yes.
Also, while you're at it, don't forget to check out comicrelated.com as well as comicfrontline.com. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more.
Yep.
As always, guys, keep reading, keep collecting.
And keep watching.
I knew to wait for that.
Ha.
Take care, and we will see you guys in the next review. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.